let's move on to the asset editor and then to the lights. We have sunlight turned on. We will not use the sunlight due to the fact that we have no windows in the bathroom. So I turn off that sunlight. I click on the icon next to the light name. The icon has turned gray, so it's off. Now I'll create my own artificial lights. To do this, let's move on to the IES lights. IES lights are artificial lights that we can download. There are many free libraries that we can use, and notice that each light looks a bit different. Thanks to this, we can determine how we want artificial light to look like. We can type IES light in search engine or go to the website leomoon.com. Here we can download the IES lights for free. I will be using an IES light from my library. It's located in the Lights folder. There's a light in the folder called IES Bathroom. And it's a light that I use very often. It has a good shape, good intensity, and looks very natural in the scene. Therefore, I will use this type of light. To create such a light, I will come closer to a place where we have LED lights. Then I click on the IES icon. I click on it, and I can pick the IES light from the folder. I open it. There is a light icon next to my cursor, so I go to the LED light and click. The light has appeared. I will set this light correctly. I will move it a little bit under the line. It's always a good idea to place this light under the lamp. When the IES light is in the ceiling or in the lamp, it will not work well. So we need to move it a little bit down. Let's move on to the asset editor and then to IES light settings. It's already in the light tab, so I go to the right side and we can set some values. First of all, I change the intensity. At the very beginning, this intensity is 1700. I set the intensity to 10,000. The IES lights should have a really high intensity value so that they will be visible in the scene. Therefore, the value 30 or 50 is definitely not enough. We should set something like few thousand, 5,000 or 10,000. Then I go to the shape, change the shape from IES file, and it's ready. I will leave the white color for now. Remember that we can always change it later. I go to the scene 1 and render. As you can see, the first light is set in the scene. It looks very good. It shines brightly, but let's remember that it's the only one light. It's good to copy this light to the other LED lamps. I click on the light and then copy it, just like a regular object. I move it, hold down the left control, and enter the value, 100. I move it a little more to the right, and copy again. We have to copy these 3 lights again. I hold the left control, and I place them in the right places. We have 6 lights in the scene. But if I go to the asset editor, I can see that there is still 1 IES light in the panel. This is due to the fact that if we copy the lights, they are not copied in the asset editor panel. If I right-click on the light and select objects in the scene, all the lights are selected. So if I change the light intensity to, for example, 2000, then all 6 lines will have the intensity of 2000. If I would like to have every light in the panel separately, I should not copy the lights, but each time I should click on the IES icon and create new light every single time. Let's see what the visualization looks like. The visualization is created. As we can see, the light is very strong. We have burnouts here on the right side. There is also strong shadows here that we'll get rid of later. But now let's focus on the exposure layer. I extend the right tab and create a new layer, exposure. Here I'm reducing highlight burn so that the scene is not that intense. and looks much better. To improve the lighting in the scene, I will add additional light. It will be rectangular light from behind the camera. I zoom out the scene and then create rectangular light. I click on the rectangle light, rotate it by 90 degrees. Remember not to place the light behind the section plane. And using the scale tool, I will change the size of the light plane. Then I go to the asset editor and change the light to invisible. I will reduce the intensity of a new rectangle light to about 15, but also I will reduce the intensity of IES light to about 7000. Let's render. The visualization has been created and we can see that the interior looks very nice. And now we can add new rectangle lights. I come closer, I click on the rectangle light and then set it somewhere here. It will be a narrow plane, something similar to LED strip. Then I copy that lighting down. I select it and then press left Ctrl on the keyboard so that the element is copied and it's positioned in the right place. Let's go into the asset editor and check the rectangle light we have just created. Due to the fact that it has been copied, if you right-click on the rectangle light and select Objects in the scene, two rectangle lights are selected. I move on to color texture. I change this color to a more orange, warm color. That's why I click on the color icon, and next to key slider, which is Kelvin, I change the color to about 4000, which is a warmer color. I will not change the intensity. Remember to set the lights as invisible. Let's check the result of the visualization and render. Visualization is created. We can see that there is already a rectangle light in the alcove. It looks very good. Later, I will check what the light looks like with the materials in the scene. There is one last thing left. Note that the LED lights in the ceiling are not visible. It's true that they illuminate the scene, but they look like they are turned off. So, let's move on to the SketchUp and move closer to the LED light. Note that this light is a group or component. If I double click, we can see that we still have a group, so it's good to click on it again and select only one element. And now I will turn that geometry into a light. If the element is a group or a component, then the icon named Convert to the Mesh Light is highlighted. This means that any geometry, a cube or a sphere, can be converted into the light. I click on Convert to Mesh Light. We can see that there is a box with such red and blue lines. They are components, so if I convert one geometry into the mesh light, other lamps are also changed. Let's go to the asset editor and see that there is a new light, mesh light. This light works exactly like the other lights, so we can change its intensity or color. I'm not going to change the intensity or color, I will leave it as it is. Let's check the visualization. LED lights looks very good. I'm satisfied with the effect.